Hello. So today's pick a pile is going to be, well, you saw the title, so you're here for that. It's going to be about what lasting impression you left behind, especially like your first, like what the first thing people notice about you, like the first impression that people get from you. And I feel like it goes even deeper than that. It's more of like what develops within them, or like energetically and spiritually, like the impression that you leave on others. That's kind of like towards what I'm leaning with this reading, but obviously I'm leaving it open as, just like first impressions. So we have three piles to choose from. The first one is peacock ore. Second one is clear quartz, just a little chunk of it. And then the third is an amethyst point. So, yeah, very straightforward, very simple. Just to give you a little bit of how the reading's going to work out. So, I have this new deck that is extremely psychic. It's so psychic that it kind of, so, not to drag on with this intro, but I haven't been doing pick-up piles or readings in general for a while now. Not even like on TikTok, not even like for myself. I've just been kind of like in a spiritual hiatus, if you will. But I got this deck and the Starman Tarot. I got this deck, and it's just like the activation from it. I don't know. It's very beautiful. Very, there's a lot of that it pulls for me for some reason psychically. So here we are with this reading. So this is it right here. I'm going to be using this deck for all of the piles. The only difference is going to be that I already pre-shuffled and pre-picked some oracles, and they're the ones that I'm gonna, obviously at the end we always do oracles, but they're the ones who are going to be very unique to your piles, if you will. But I'm going to be using like the same deck is what I'm trying to say. So without further ado, and me blabbering on, I haven't filmed in a while, so it's kind of like weird. I don't know. Okay. Um, Go ahead and pick a pile, and I'll see you in your readings. And obviously, I'm going to start with pile one with peacock ore. Okay. Hello, pile one. So if you guys picked the peacock ore, this is going to be your reading. And I didn't say it in the intro, but excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to say it now. Um, I am getting over a cold, and the main thing that I'm getting over is like this cough that's really weird. I'm pretty sure you can hear it in my voice. It's a little hoarse because of all the coughing that I do, especially at night. I don't know why that is, but yeah, so we are going to be looking into what lasting first impression do you leave behind. So I'm excited. Um, this is the crystal that goes with the tarot deck that I'm using, so I'm also going to leave it here. Kind of just like, yeah, it wants to be in the reading as well, so why not? So yeah, let me shuffle, get into your energy here, and see what's going on with you. Kind of curious to see. All right. These cards are very new. They're also kind of big for my hands, and they're very slick, so it's hard to shuffle them. I'm very sorry if it's like super loud for some of you when I hit the table with it, or because usually I would just do this, but it's hard to do that. So, all right. Like I said in the intro, this deck is beautiful. Let me show you in case you missed this one. All right. If I have a cough attack all of a sudden, I'm just going to mute my mic and I'll disappear for a second, just so you know. All right. Let's see. Ooh. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. I see that. I see it. You know what? When I before when I was setting everything up, um, there was a card that kind of like fell to the side from this deck, and it was the Empress card. And for some reason, I wanted to mention it in your reading, like when I started shuffling, but I didn't. And the whole second guessing, that could be you as well. Sometimes, like you, you tend to like second guess your intuition or the things that you should be speaking up about. But however it is, they still manifest into your life, because I'm thinking, you know, Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles is giving me Empress energy as well for some reason. But yeah, it was the Empress card that fell out. And I kept thinking of that situation was when I was shuffling for you. There's something about you being, look at that. And the Ten of Cups. Ooh, I'm keeping it. Wow. Wow. Why one? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. All right. So, putting this aside for a second, yeah, there's something about your energy that gives like completion, gives like you're like a well-rounded and grounded person, very emotionally intelligent as well. You come across as someone very complete, and you're like, you know what I mean when, okay, how do I explain this? Because we all really are complete in every stage of our lives. However, you do kind of like realize that obviously you are more mature and more in tune with who you are than you were when you were like, let's say 13 years old, now as a 20 something year old, right? Let's just for an example. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, even though whatever age group you're in, it doesn't matter, you still present, you have this aura about you that is very much like you're so established, especially very sure of who you are. And then that emotional awareness is huge as well. Um, People can also see you as um, you're very fortunate. Maybe some people might think that like monetary things come easily to you, or that you're like super blessed when it comes to money for some reason. But it's really, when people get to know you a little bit more, they realize that you've put in the work to get here. And it does not mean, it doesn't have to necessarily mean that you, because abundance can mean many things. That's another thing. Like, you give a different definition of what the Ten of Pentacles is for other people. You give a different definition of what the Ten of Cups could mean for, like, as a general. There's something about you going against the grain. You're very unique. Just like this deck is very unique. Just like you, I don't know. This doesn't look like a regular Ten of Pentacles, and it doesn't look like a regular Ten of Cups. Um, but at the same time, the energy of these two cards is still there. However, I just can't help but think unique, very, very unique. These cards are super activating. Very, they're so impressive. Like, there's so much here. Like, the more that you look at it, the more that you see. Um, you could also present in that way. You're such like a whole. I want to say you're the whole package. It's like you just have this energy about you where, like, people have to, like, there's layers to you. There's like the first impression, though, it's very established, very sure of yourself, very knowing of who you are. It's just like I'm seeing just like a big, big presence, a solid. You're solid is what I want to say as well. Like, you could be a solid friend, a solid co. Like, I don't know why solid is the word that I want to use. That's so weird. Okay, um, reliable. You're very, very reliable. There's something about you bringing harmony everywhere you go as well. Very harmonious, makes sense. 1010 could be something, some numbers that you're seeing very often. You probably don't think of yourself in this way, by the way. You probably don't see this, but people see it. People see it and they recognize it in you. Um, yeah, because I'm seeing like there's a lot of people here. There's people here. With the Three of Cups, makes me I'm so sorry, you guys. I had to cough for a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, I was gonna say with the Three of Cups here, there's three cups right here. And it's making me think of the Three of Cups. It's almost like the Three of Cups is in this card. That was you're like a really good friend as well. There's something about you bring a lot of celebratory energy with you everywhere you go. It's almost like, you know what? Side note, because this is not just the impression that you leave behind on others. This is Spirit wants to tell you about the impact that you have on others energetically and spiritually. Hold on a second, because that's part of what I wanted to ask about, anyways, as well. Because I feel like it like the more that you know certain things about yourself, um, the better it is for you to recognize what's going on when you walk into a room, when you interact with someone. So, and all of that to say that energetically, there's something about you influencing others. So if you're happy, you kind of like exude that, and they're bringing such a specific kind of situation into my mind, and this has to resonate with you. And if it doesn't, I mean, maybe it's just for a very specific person as confirmation, and that's enough for me, because confirming for one person about something that they need to hear is, honestly, the job is done, right? But okay, let's say you notice that if you're kind of like in a sad mood, bad mood, maybe a little mad, maybe a little flustered, and let's say you have to work that day, you go into work, the people around you, your coworkers, kind of reflect that back to you. And you don't notice it in the moment, but let's say like a day later, 2 days later, the night afterwards, like hours afterwards, I don't know, you kind of like, oh shit, so I was feeling that way. And then my day kind of reflected that. People reflected that to me. People that I work with, that I co-create with, the people that I interacted with, kind of like you're seeing something like that. And Spirit wants you to realize just how impactful your energy is. Your energy is very, very, very powerful. All right. It's almost like use it wisely is what I'm hearing now. You have to really, and I mean, this is not to say, please, at all, that you should always be happy-go-lucky because you affect other people and whatever. You're meant to just live your life, okay? It's more of they're calling your attention to that so that you know when it's happening. So if you know that it's happening, maybe it's easier for you to reel in this emotional intelligence, reel in this groundedness that you carry within you, that you have the capability of asserting into a situation, asserting into an interaction, inserting into just your day to day life, to be a little more conscious and be like, okay, maybe I just need to take like 5 minutes, ground myself, ground my energy, kind of do whatever it is that you do to like calm yourself down, get yourself into like a neutral state, and then kind of, I don't know, like you'll see the shift in your day, you'll see the shift in people around you is what I'm trying to say. Like, and honestly, if you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to. At the end of the day, you're still gonna learn. You're still, I feel like every day it's kind of about energy exchanges that we have with other people, and what that means for us, and that what that means for them. Right? If we don't, if you don't believe in coincidences, right? I was gonna say consequences. If you don't believe in coincidences, like you believe that everything happens for a reason, every little thing then happens for a reason. It's kind of like that. Ooh, the Hierophant. Look at you. Yeah, I knew it already. Like powerful energy. Very powerful energy. You wield a lot of power, a lot of spiritual power, and it manifests in your reality, and people recognize that in you. You could also be like a teacher, like, excuse me, not a teacher in, maybe you are a teacher in the normal sense of the word, like and yeah, you're a teacher, that's your career, that's what you do for a living. But there's something about you just naturally having this way about you of being a natural leader, a natural teacher, which is why it would make sense why we have a 10 and 10 here. Completion, and this is 5. 5 is half of 10. I don't know, there's something there about that too. But 25. So some of you could be 25. You're also wise beyond your years. You've always have been. Like I said, like every stage of your life, you've always been very much ahead. So I'm just looking at the card and seeing what else I want to say about that. There's something about your energy as well that is recognized as not just I mean, who is more established spiritually than the Hierophant, if you think about it, right? Probably the High Priestess. And they kind of complete each other if you want to look at the divine masculine or the divine feminine energy when it comes to like that kind of dynamic, if you will. Again, the balance, the the completion that you just exude, people recognize it. Spiritually, maybe you have like a spiritual business, or maybe there's something about that you're meant to be using this energy that you possess, and this energy that people recognize in you, right? This power that people recognize in you. Maybe you could be using it for some kind of spiritual path moving forward, or people recognize that about you too. Maybe people that you interact with in a spiritual sense, or that you speak about spiritual things with, or something like that. They see your potential to be a spiritual teacher, a spiritual leader. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something about you as well that you kind of plant seeds in other people. Yes. Okay, that's the teacher energy that I was feeling. Yeah, it's almost like the divine. Okay, this is very beautiful and very interesting. Pile 1. I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to pull this card as well because it's so significant. The Star card. And you know what? When I was looking at this card, I was like, it looks like he's in a spaceship. And I wanted to say that, and I wanted to say, you're like from out of this world. And here is the star Aquarius, which literally always reminds me of like having alien heritage. Like you're not from here or something like that. Or sometimes you feel like you're not. That just could be confirmation of your feelings. It doesn't have to be necessarily specifically that you are an alien or anything like that. But that's really interesting. Okay, so Spirit wanted you to know that how the potential and the like just sheer power that you possess, especially when people like recognize this in you, and the impact that you have on others, because you do quite honestly plant seeds, probably seeds of wisdom, which is what the Hierophant makes me think of, seeds of like spirituality, seeds of potential in others, with your words, with the way that you move about your day-to-day life, with a simple interaction, the way that you treat others. Boom, that's something that kind of like affects that other person, or the way that you mention something, the way that you speak about certain things, that it's just like your energy is so all encompassing. It's almost like I'm seeing someone that like everything that you do ripples through the fabric of reality. And that's not just you, that I think that's pretty much everybody. And those ripples kind of clash with each other, and that's when we have like interactions. I'm just seeing that it's a beautiful image that I'm seeing in my mind like that. But you specifically, there's something about you. I can't wait to look at your oracles, because I'm sure that's going to be so synchronistic and insane. All right, so, and with the star, I mean, humanitarian, like, you are so accepting of everybody, and that's, again, people feel so welcomed uh, by you. They feel accepted, they feel supported, they feel like they can come to you, or like they feel like you could be a friend instantly. Okay, maybe you kind of don't recognize this about you because you could be a little bit of a secluded person. And that's probably because you subconsciously you realize that you do have this effect on other people, so you keep to yourself a bit. That there's something there about that. But I think spirit is saying here, no, you're meant to like be celebrate this energy about you, share your goodness with others, and don't be afraid of like if you're not feeling your best, that you feel like you should keep to yourself because you should only put your best out there. It's not about that, Pawan, because it's almost like you showing people that you're not always this like well-rounded person. You do have your flaws. um, it helps other people to kind of be like, it's okay to go through shit. Like if you open up about, let's say, you have uh, in your past, you have very tumultuous times that you've lived through, and maybe sharing your story about that is going to help other people be like, oh damn, so even though power one, they present themselves, and it's you're not faking it. You're very, very true to who you are, which is probably what I was picking up on. Like if you don't feel your best, you kind of don't want to input this energy on other people either. Excuse me. I'm just gonna take those as confirmations now because that makes sense to me. Okay, anyways. um so like I was saying, yeah, it's not that you necessarily are fake where it's like you only want to present happiness. It's almost like you really don't want to be around others when you're not feeling your best, because you do know that you affect like the room, the vibe, if you will. um but it's almost like there's something about you just being very true to yourself. You're very authentic. You're very, very authentic. It's probably, you know what, you're probably someone who cannot hide their feelings as well. Like so there's something about, because I'm seeing here in this card now, like she's reflecting the colors of her environment, and like she's one with, there's something about as above so below, but there's also like, yeah, you like you're, it's almost like you're a chameleon, but in like in a reverse way, where like you're a chameleon in the not in the normal way and in a reverse way, whereas like your environment is going to reflect whatever colors you decide you're wearing that day, for example. And by colors I mean like emotions and your mental state, your spiritual state, your energetic state, but also you observe it from your environment sometimes, and you can't hide from that. That's just who you are authentically. um, okay, I hope that all made sense. Oh my god, I really hope it did. um, I also have to say you're very attractive. The uniqueness that you present, the uniqueness of your energy is very, very attractive as well. And you just have this like, you have this energy of, yeah. Some people could perceive you as a know-it-all, but the thing is, you know a lot. Okay, with the Hierophant, I don't know. That was just like a side message. It's kind of funny. Because I guess to the honor, okay, I don't want to speak in those terms, but it's coming out this way. To those people who are not at the Ten of Pentacles, they're not at the Ten of Cups, they still are, they could be an ace, for example, right? Those recently awakened individuals, or to the unawakened, to the untrained eye, to the untrained eye, or the untrained emotion or energy, people that don't really um, dive into like spirituality or stuff like that. There's something about the mundane and the spiritual or something. There's a clash there that happens often, but it's almost like because you bring in this energy, you want to make sure those worlds are one with with each other or something like that. And anyways, so you're put in people's path, okay? And some people might think of you as a know-it-all, like, but it's just that you have a lot of wisdom within you, past lives maybe. You pull on a lot of energy. You're very connected to spirit as well. um you probably give really good advice. I don't know, there's something about that. All right. I'm gonna leave this here actually. Yeah, I'm going to keep them, and I'm going to get into your oracles. All right, let's see. The bee. What did I say about ripples? Oh my goodness, I love this. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my water. I said ripples. It's like your hard work, the things that you have developed in your life, and your energy definitely affects others. Definitely does. You could these could be the colors of your aura as well, I have to say, part one. So yellow, blues, greens. But also, do you see how like yellow and blue makes green, right? So it's like a blending of energies as well. Very beautiful. All right, let's read about the bee. Super cuties. All right. It says earnest, hardworking, and democratic. Democratic is definitely a word that could describe you, without a doubt. The star gives me that energy for sure, Aquarius energy. So the bee personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Yeah, you work well with others. Um, Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They're a sensitive creature aware of many subtleties at once. That's what I was picking up on with the when I was saying the whole chameleon thing. Like you affect the room affects you. There's something about that. Excuse me. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and they sting. When in balance, content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed, to bring into balance a mini vacation. I feel like when I was saying like you stay away from people, you stay away from situations, that's you kind of recognizing, because I feel like you kind of this pile, you feel like you recognize this about yourself. Okay, this is a lot of confirmation that I'm getting here. This is not something new to you. You probably have heard it from other people being said to you. You probably watch tarot readings. You probably just know this about yourself already, and this is just extra confirmation. um so that mini vacation thing is kind of like a ding 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 for me when I was saying like you stay away. You kind of like stay away when you need to. You know yourself energetically and spiritually as well, so well that you kind of like you know when to be a recluse, if you will. Ooh, water energy, very psychic, aren't you? Yeah, you really are. The water energy also makes me think of the Ten of Cups again, very emotionally mature. You dive in deep as well. There's something about even like in a simple interaction with someone else, the impression you leave behind is one of depth. You know, like it's your how you express yourself, the way that you conduct yourself is not shallow, and that could be in the bold sense of the word shallow, in the sense of like you don't just go for looks and how things seem, or um, you don't just care about the status quo of things. That could be one aspect of it, definitely with Aquarius, that makes sense. But also in the aspect of it's not shallow because your interactions are meaningful. You're so authentic that you kind of like you hide very little, or like not, I don't even want to say hide, what is the word, you keep back very little. You're very authentically yourself. That's what I want to say. Oh, guilt. I release any belief that no longer assists in my soul growth. Yeah, you do this constantly. This is part of this emotional maturity of yours, honestly. um you release constantly because you it's almost like you're also someone that filters through a lot of things. Again, you're very aware of subtleties, and there could be something about like when you fuck up, like when things were wrong towards you, wrong from you towards others, but you don't hold on to it. It's almost like you transmute it. You see how this is blending, and I was saying like you blend things together. There's something about that. um so you take what you experience, and you make it into something that actually works for you, right? You make it into something that, let's say you're like, okay, I'm going to take that as a lesson. Or maybe this is something that you speak to other people about as well. Like you know, especially those that kind of seek advice from you, um, or that they open up to you. You bring a new perspective to them as well. You make them realize that there's it's counterproductive to hold on to resentment and to guilt. That's really interesting. Very deep. Again, you really don't do anything in the shallowness of things. You really dive in. um, oh my goodness. Well, that makes sense. The Queen of Pentacles, which in this deck is, guess who? The Empress. Which I was picking up on since I was shuffling your cards. Again, I love spirit. This deck is from your ancestors. This message is from your ancestors. Because I dedicated this deck to my ancestors. So this is your ancestors confirming here. You truly are. Okay, that makes sense too, because we have the Hierophant, and I was picking up on the Hierophant kind of like resembling or meaning here the divine masculine energy, and how now we have divine feminine energy, where again you're very well balanced, very well balanced. There's a lot of symmetry in these cards as well that lets me know again that balance is there. Symmetry in this card too, if you think about it, right? That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You could also come across as someone who is very much into nature. You love animals, you love plants. You're very natural. Your beauty is just natural one. Not to, say that um, it's so interesting. You know what's really interesting? Your entire reading, I've been saying, you're this, you're that, but it's not to say that it's this and you know what I mean? Like, I've been kind of making sure that I don't exclude just because I'm giving you like one like what I'm picking up on from you. I'm also at the same time trying to explain how the opposite of that is nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. That is you, pile one. That is you being such a diplomatic person, but from a place, not because you want to gain status or you want to gain like people's trust and you want people to like you in a fake kind of way, or you just want to keep the peace. You're just naturally like that. Like, if you say one thing, like I was just saying natural beauty, I almost wanted to say there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup, and there's nothing wrong with like that's also natural too. If you think about it, it's your artistic expression of who you are. Is you're just using tools to get there. You know what I mean? Like, that is you. Oh, this is beautiful. You're such a beautiful, kind soul, and you're all inclusive. You want to be all inclusive of everyone, and I think you quite literally achieve that. I just think it takes time for people maybe to realize it. But your initial impression, the first lasting thing that people notice about you is definitely that. You are very open minded, um, very welcoming energy, very, very much like you just flow easily, You get along with everybody as well. And it's not from, I want to say, like that kind of um, maybe like sometimes when we're people pleasers and when we're someone who still has to heal boundaries and stuff like that, we tend to be like, I want everyone to like me. Believe it or not, it's almost like you have to put on a facade for others. You don't do that anymore. You don't do that anymore. Maybe you used to approach that kind of way of being from that point of from that sense, but I think you've learned from that you still need boundaries. You do need your time alone, like I was saying, like when you need to recoil, be with yourself, you do that. um Now you come from a very authentic place. You just authentically yourself. It's not about people pleasing, but it is about bringing a lot of harmony everywhere you go. You recognize this about you. You recognize that you have that power as well. I would say the chameleon, they are both, right? Part of their environment, and their environment is part of them. You could be someone who has tattoos, beautiful tattoos as well. Um, People definitely think that you're like if you have like a little bit of a conversation with someone who's like spiritually inclined and stuff like that, your psychicness is definitely something that they recognize. Your third eye being very active and very much open and aware is something that comes up and they think about as well. They gather that information from you, if you will, energetically. Yeah. You guys, I really hope that this resonated. I hope that this reading made sense, that it brought you clarity, it brought you a lot of confirmation. I feel like this is definitely confirmation, especially for this pile. Um, I also hope that I kind of like boosted you a little bit, right? Gave you a little bit of an ego boost. You deserve it, you know. You deserve to hear just how amazing you are and just how much people recognize that about you as well. So thank you so much, Pal One, for watching. Thank you for your support, for your comments, for your likes. And I'll see you in the next reading. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Hello, Pal 2. So if you guys picked the clear quartz, this is going to be your reading. What I was getting here, like kind of tapping into your energy, um, clearing out Pal 1, if you will. Let me put this here. I looked at this book that's next to me for, I have it out because I'm going to read from it for your oracles, but because I picked one card from this deck, and I was like, the eye just called my attention. There's something about your eye contact is very significant. Again, I'm getting things right away. I really have to pay attention to the messages that I'm receiving while I shuffle, because pile one, I was shuffling, I picked something up and I didn't say it, and then it came out in the reading. You know what I mean? There's something about all of these collectives. You guys just, you're like energetically and spiritually charged. This whole reading is very interesting, very synchronistic for me as well as a reader. It's just like very activating. That could speak to your energy as well. So yeah, eye contact. Maybe you struggle a bit with eye contact. There's something about, ooh, look at your Scorpio placements for some reason I just heard. So like I'm hearing if you have a Lilith, your Lilith is in Scorpio, your eye contact is very intense, and therefore you shy away from eye contact with a lot of people because you really truly see all the way through to their soul. And also just look at the bottom of the deck. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. You you make people feel like you really see right through them. Do they like it? I don't know. Some people might not. Um, I feel like you yourself are kind of uncomfortable with having this power of eye contact. Ooh, all right. Let's see what that is. The Prince of Cups. So this is the Knight of Cups in this deck. It's interesting. He's riding a manta ray. That's so interesting. This deck is beautiful. And heading towards, so I'm seeing right away a feather, the little letter there, the two skulls. What is that about? That's really interesting. Okay. Okay, let's see. I want to get a little bit more before I start jumping into the Two of Cups. I love this freaking card. It's beautiful. Okay, Two of Cups. The Starman, the main card in this deck. So this is the Magician in this deck. Oof. All right. Well, there you go. You definitely have a magical essence about you. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. So one of my friends who is very, very spiritual, very much psychic, very much magical, a magician in his own right. Um, I every time I kind of get a new deck, I pull a card for him, and this is the card that came out for him. So when this card came out, I just thought of him right away. So you could have Aries because he's in Aries. You could be in Aries, very significant Aries placements. I don't know. That's coming out for a reason, but um, and if he's watching this and he picked this file, that'll be really funny. I don't know if he watches my videos. Anyways, so um, you are definitely, you come across as someone who is very, very magical. You have this essence um, of being a wizard. Quite literally, I just heard. There's something. There's something about your emotional, the way that you approach things in a very emotional way. Because we have two cup cards, okay? So I really do have to bring up that you could present as a very emotional person, emotionally driven, or emotionally, you don't hide your emotions, or there's something about, um, maybe I'm hearing you have like a short fuse sometimes. But that comes again from being a very emotionally charged person. But that emotionally chargedness, right, if you will, translates also into a lot of power. You wield a lot of power, especially when you're in your element, when you're well grounded. And there's something about, I don't know, I'm seeing like a cross here for some reason, but it's not a cross like a Jesus Christ kind of thing. It's more of like when things align is what I'm seeing. X marks the spot. I don't know what that means for you guys, but yeah. Um, wow. There's just power. There's you. That, it makes sense. The whole eye contact shit makes sense right now. That makes a lot of sense. There's something about this card is just intense, dude. You are intense. You have a very intense energy about you. Um, you have a very healing energy as well because of what I'm seeing back here. That looks to me like you know, the snake coiled thing that it's like an ambulance and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't even know where that comes from, but yeah, I'm thinking like healing. You have a very healing energy about you as well. Honestly, that makes sense too with the emotional aspect that you bring forth. You being like a natural born healer. If you guys are not already in this path of being a healer, maybe like being someone who is in the spiritual community, like kind of like having a service that you provide for others and stuff like that, this is part of your path. People recognize this about you instantly, okay? Um, and especially those people that you probably have helped already or that you speak about, you know, spiritual things with, they definitely recognize your sheer power when it comes to this side of things, when it comes to quite literally, again, being uh, someone who's a healer, a shaman, a magician, a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. I don't know. You guys are also silly. I feel like I embody this energy. I definitely did it in part one. This energy when I'm reading for the collective. I don't know. There's a weird sound. What was that? That was so okay. You guys are powerful people. Stop it. Don't scare me. Okay. Um. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else is going on here. You know what I think it is? I think the power just went out. I don't have anything on electronically wise, so I don't know, but I think the power went out. I think that's the sound that I was hearing. Six of Wands. Nice. Yeah, I'm just seeing like quite literally I just heard you're a winner. People recognize that about you too. They see that you not only have the potential, but you're getting there. There's something about you present as someone that's um, you triumph, you get through things. um, Yeah, the power just came back on because that was the smoke alarm that just sounded. That's, ooh, it's doing that again. That is confirmation. When I say that you guys are powerful, powerful people, I mean it. What? Oh, that's crazy. You guys. Pile two. What is going on? Pile two. Another six. Six of Swords. You could be seeing 666 a lot. And it's not a bad number, okay? I don't have to tell you that, but yeah, it's not. Um, I also have to say with the Prince of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups, and if you think of the knights, they're literally on a horse. They're getting somewhere. They're going somewhere. People recognize that about you too. You, like I say, you're, because this is making me think of a journey as well. In this journey, in this life journey, in this incarnation, people recognize that you're going places. They see your potential. You could also be an artist, and so people just naturally know that you are. They just have to look at you and they know. Um, and it's not from a judgy place of like, oh, they're clearly a painter, for example, because they have paint on their pants, and or they're a musician because of course they are. Look at them. Like, it's not in that sense. I mean, it could be sometimes, but it's also like just your aura. You're like, you're artistic. You're powerful, and in many ways, you wield a lot of power. Is what I have to say. And you get them from different places. I mean, quite literally, we have air, fire, and water here. And what does the magician do? He has access to all of the elements. I'm surprised we haven't got an earth here. And that, you know why it would make sense too why earth is not here, because right now, I feel like you're going through this phase where you're grounding all of this in. Makes sense if you look at this image as well. But that doesn't mean that people don't recognize that you're doing that kind of work. You're getting where you need to. You're about to get where you, oh my God, I can't say what I mean now. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting there. You're on the path towards the things that you're a completion of some of sense, if you will. People recognize that you're going places. They recognize your magic. They recognize your potential. They recognize your essence. Like when people are just naturally exude this energy of like, yeah, they're meant to be famous. They're, or not necessarily, not maybe not famous in the world stage, but in their community, or they're meant to be a big impactful person in their community. You give off that kind of energy is what I want to say. Look at that, King of Cups. And there's that psychicness. Do you see it in that image there? Wow. See, it's almost like you don't need much to get to where you're going either. You go from the knight to the king very easily. Very, very easily. It's almost like and if I'm going to speak a little bit about what Spirit wants to speak about, which is this is also like a personal reading for you in the sense of your journey, your life's journey. You're almost there, pal, too. Like, quite literally, you're getting you're it's like a triumph, a victory over something. And then there's another one, whereas you gotta learn when to get through something and when to walk away from something, is what these two are telling me, right? You get through it with the Six of Wands, and then you triumph. You made it. You're victorious. And with the Six of Swords, you realize when to pick your battles, and boom, that lands you into this energy of the King of Cups. Wow. It's almost like that is what the magician is trying to, like, as above so below, right? So your higher self is trying to, like, literally ground this energy for you at the moment. probably a lot of people in your life also recognize that you're in the come up, like quite literally. It's almost like they really want to speak about your life right now. I'm not getting like, I don't know, I'm not getting like, in general, how people see you or what impression you leave behind. I'm getting the impression that you leave behind right now. So a lot of you could resonate with this in the sense of like, your life is changing right now. Okay? Look at that, another king. Like I said, again, this is even a bigger jump. Now you're going from the Six of Swords to the King of Swords. Wow. A lot of masculine energy here. Very masculine kind of reading. Temperance to balance it all out. Beautiful. Just beautiful. More snakes and eyes. Do you see that? That is, I mean, spirit never never lets me down. Look at what. So this was at the bottom of the deck, Temperance, and on the top, the Empress. Huh. Masculine, feminine energy. Honestly, with the Two of Cups, it would make sense. They're also calling your attention to making sure that you keep those two very balanced. Okay, that's almost like how you get through things. Believe it or not, you also have this sense of you speak very openly and from the heart. You, like I said, your emotions, you're very tapped into your emotions, so that could, I'm seeing like that's actually attractive. You're attractive because of your emotional awareness, but you also recognize, or maybe you open up to people about it, about how you got to the point of having emotional awareness. It wasn't an easy route. It was actually hard to get there, but you did it. That could be something that you help your community with, actually. And by your community, I also kind of, I want to say, like divine masculine energy. I feel like divine masculine energies, like recently, in recent years, they've become more aware, and there's a shift going on where the divine masculine population has to wake up, and they have been waking up. Maybe you're meant to be a leader in that sense. And you don't have to be a man for that. Okay, it's not about gender. um but I mean, you could be a man, but that's not what I mean by that. So yeah, you're very good with your words. I'm seeing someone, people think of you as someone who could charm them with their words. Like you're a very good speaker, but also you're very in touch with your emotions, so that's why you're very attractive as well. All right, I almost want to pull one more, but I want everything to fit, so it's like I'm second guessing about that. But yeah, let's move these around. The starman being there, it's honestly really cool because that is the deck. Okay, so all right, like I said, you guys are very powerful. I mean, literally the power went out while I was doing your reading. I feel like my ears are like ringing. They're not ringing, but I feel like I'm underwater or something right now. That's so interesting. What is going on? You guys are insane. Look at that. Six of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? 666. Didn't I say it? I said it. I called it. I called it. Now I'm putting it like this because it makes sense to me. Wow. That well-roundedness. You know what? People also think of you as very diplomatic. You're very much equal give and take. You're very fair. You present as someone that's very fair. And you are fair with your actions, with your words, with the way that you move about the world, if you will. That's just who you are. You remember when I was saying you got to balance all of those energies, and look what fell under that. The Six of Pentacles, which is literally about reciprocity and balance as well. That's really the energy of 6 that I'm getting here for you. But this is quite literally very beautiful. And the reason why I want to keep saying that 666 is not bad, it's because it's not. Look it up, okay? If you want to just get like a different perspective on the number 666. Also, I feel like I have to say, this is literally your energy where it's like what people deem like evil or what people would think of like dark and this and that. You actually gravitate towards it and you think, the more you tell me not to do it, the more I'm going to pursue it because I feel like what's the message there? Like that's you. You're very inquisitive. You don't take things at face value. You quite literally, that's how you also challenge the status quo actually. It makes sense. It makes sense for your energy here that you're kind of like, the more that you tell me something's bad, I almost want to look into that and make up my own opinions of it. That's you. Very inquisitive, very smart as well. I want to read, I want to look at this because this deck is really cool. It usually has like a little thing here with every card. So it says, I will blow your mind. Are you fucking kidding me? Exactly. This is you. Oh my goodness. The alchemist, the starman, the alchemist, the magician. Manifest your reality. And ideas are communicated and brought into the physical world with ease. That's you. You have everything you need to create the world you desire. Reconfigure yourself in liberating, expressive, and complex ways. Oof. That's you. That's you. You're very unique. And you just, people naturally see that. You could also just be someone who looks like a very unique individual as well. Like physically wise, you're very unique. But energetically, you're even more unique. And it comes through, it's just like, it radiates from you. Your essence, your energy is really beautiful. Very attractive as well. Very, very attractive. Okay. Let's get into your oracles. I'm excited. Let's see what's going on here. The turtle. More water energy. This is really pretty. Oh, I love it. I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race. And I know it's not like, well, I guess the turtle and the rabbit, right? But yeah. That's okay. That's really cute. I don't know why this turtle is so cute to me. It's his little feet. I don't know. All right, let's read about it. Honestly, every animal is cute to me, so I shouldn't even be like, it's so cute. Okay, ancient soul. Yeah. Grounded, trusting, at home in the self. You, definitely. When in balance, peaceful, adventurous, and productive. When out of balance, slow down to a halt to bring into balance and adventure. Okay. So it says, it's a wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water element simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truth of life, no matter where their travels lead them. That's definitely you. You look for the deeper truth in this life, in this reality, um, in this incarnation that you're in. I have to say, quite honestly, with that 666 that I was picking up on. Okay. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for a later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own story, our own true tale. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. I almost wanted to complete the thing, but that could be you as well. Like you're meant to put things into your own perspective. You're meant to share your perspective on things with others. You change people's minds about certain things as well. Because again, I'm going back to the 666 thing. It's almost like you bring forth a new meaning to things. That's really beautiful. Very powerful. Talisman. There's a key here too. Ooh, so you're very, very protected. People could sense that about you too. Like spiritually, you're very protective. Also, you hold a lot of knowledge. Makes sense. Makes sense. It's almost like you could have just your perspective on things could be like the key that kind of unlocks everything for some people sometimes as well when people speak to you, or your energy kind of does that for it. It's almost like you don't even have to speak about anything. Being in your presence could unlock certain things in others, and they recognize that. Maybe when they're away from you, they recognize that, damn, like while I was hanging out with Pao too, I came to so many realizations. It was so easy to tap into the divine. It was so easy to like tap into my own inner knowing or something like that. Very interesting. Ooh. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I feel like when I was saying that in your life, you've had moments where you needed to fight, kind of like really stick to your guns. But there were times where you needed to walk away, like when you knew you've learned that. I feel like this is that energy. This is that soul lesson there. People recognize that in you. Or maybe you are very open about speaking about how your failures are not failures, right? It's funny, I'm thinking of something that I posted the other day on my story. It's in Spanish, but it basically says, I never lose. Because if I win, I win. And if I lose, I learn. That's you. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh, look at that. The Five of Cups. What an interesting thing to leave, to like end your reading with. Very interesting. Okay. Five of Cups. In reverse, by the way. But the Five of Cups nonetheless. Interesting. It just lets me know it's kind of like this. It's almost like they come together, this message. It lets me know that it's confirmation that you're done. You don't cry over spilled milk anymore. You don't really look at the past through the lens of, damn, I'm so sad that that ended. Or um, you look at it more as, I learned from it and I'm here because of it. That's really beautiful. Change as well. Five could be a very significant number for you. It could actually be, excuse me, confirmation. It could be it could be confirmation for you, but it could be your life path number, or a very significant number in your life. The number five. Also, obviously, the number six. So you could be seeing 555 and 666. And if you do, after you watch this reading, confirmation for you as well. Very interesting pile. Very interesting collective here. You guys are so unique and so beautiful. And so like, wow. I just have to say wow, because it's almost like I'm at a loss for words a little bit here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Thank you so, so much, Patu, for letting me read for you, tap into your energy. Um, Thank you for your support. I really hope that this reading resonated with you, that you got some confirmation from it, and that you really truly believe that you are an amazing, amazing being. Okay, and that you trust that your spirit guides here spoke to you about truthness. Okay, it's almost like now at the end of your reading here, I want to say you got to believe in yourself and believe that you have all this goodness and all this power, because quite literally people recognize it in you, and it's just from a simple interaction they can realize that, damn, like they are very impactful, they are very you're just charged. There's something about that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in another reading in the future. Have a good one. Hello, part three. So if you guys picked the amethyst, this is going to be your reading. I almost want to hold on to your, I wanted to say, hold on to your rock, hold on to your crystal for a bit. I don't know what that's about. Feels very good. All right. That could be your energy. You feel very good to be around. You know what? when I was like um, getting into your energy just now, I thought of something that's very interesting. You could be someone who, through the way that you are, you kind of change other people's behavior. I don't know what that's about, pile three, but I'm seeing someone like, let's say you just got a new job, and in this job that you just started, you just naturally, every time you leave the place, or you're done with your shift or whatever, you say goodbye to everybody. And that's like something that no one really used to do before you, but now that you do it, people started doing it. Does that make sense? That's so specific. Okay, that is very specific. Okay, but that's literally what I was seeing in my head. Like, there's something about, I don't know. You're very sweet and very caring, and it transfers to others. And it's not necessarily that other people are not sweet and caring just like you are, but maybe they were a little shy about expressing it, or because of the environment or something like that, or I don't know. But you kind of make people um you make people want to step into their authenticity. Nine of Cups. Wow. Look at you, pile three. Wow. You have such a beautiful, harmonious energy about you. Very happy, very activating energy as well. Do you see how every cup here has like a different sacred geometry symbol on it? That's you. Like, you literally bring forth such like magical, just magic, period. And this, even this is sacred geometry as well. It's that like never ending pattern. Okay, patterns could be very significant for you. You could be someone who recognizes patterns very easily as well, like especially when it comes to like the spiritual things. But also, like in general, there's something about, like I said, you create a pattern, if you will, like not knowingly, like you don't even know that you do this, but you do it. And people don't even recognize, like people could be like, they almost like follow in your footsteps, again, the pattern, right? But they don't really notice that they're even doing it. That's the kind of effect you have on others. That is interesting. I'm hearing also like people could recognize the fact that you're like a trendsetter. Excuse me. Yeah. But a trendsetter in like the best of ways. Like, it's not just about the clothes or the makeup or a certain look, if you will. It's about like how you treat others, your emotional maturity, uh, the way that you care for others, the way that you speak to others. You set a trend, you set a pattern about that. That's really beautiful, my goodness. You guys are just like sweet, sweet souls. That's definitely the first impression that you leave behind. Very, very sweet person. As I say that, then the Five of Wands comes out. But um, this is internal conflict. This is not conflict, outwardly conflict, if you will. But you know what's interesting? That what this makes me think of is you very much, this is your, what you present to others, the not necessarily the image that you cultivate, it's just who you are when it comes to other people. But internally, a spirit could be signaling out here that you should bring that harmony into yourself as well, and not second guess your actions. And don't like second guess yourself, or like um stop having this internal battle with yourself. Just be who you are. Also, accept the fact that you are who you are. There's something about you having to accept the fact that, yes, it's almost like you cannot take a compliment. I was just complimenting you about being just very sweet, very caring, and kind. And you're almost like pushing that away. What is that about? That's so interesting. That is so interesting. Prince of Wands. Okay. So this is the Knight of, not Wands, I'm sorry, Swords. So this is the Knight of Swords. Um, so I think a little bit of self sabotage sometimes. I'm thinking a little bit of um, you kind of sometimes are very quick to jump to conclusions about yourself that really truly do not are not even who you truly are. I don't know what that's about. That's like a side message or something. Because you see back here, like it's everyone kind of like it's admiring you, but you feel like you could be broken, you could be in the wrong or something like that. But you're not. Maybe you have some self destructive tendencies as well. And because this is like a lasting impression that you leave on others, I don't want to say that people recognize this in you, but there's something, it's almost like they can't put their finger on it, but they're like, they're so sweet, nice, and kind. But they almost recognize that you second guess that about yourself, or that you don't think that of yourself or something. I feel like it's almost like people want you to believe in yourself. People want you to believe just on in your ability to be very calming, be very kind, be very sweet and caring. They don't. It's almost like it doesn't click for other people how you don't think of yourself in that way, but you truly are in that way. That's really interesting. Justice. Look at that. Yeah, you're very fair, very diplomatic. You care about others. You care about keeping the peace, but in the best of ways. You want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Oh, okay. People think of you as very self sacrificing at times, almost to a fault. They almost recognize that as something that is self, what is it? Like is self destructive in a bit, in a sense. This could also be spirit trying to tell you here that you already are this, so you don't really have to do too much, or like don't sacrifice anything that you want, or don't sacrifice yourself for I don't know, hold on a second, hold on. This is like, it's almost like the message is there, but it's on, I almost cannot grasp it. I don't know what that's about, you guys. It's so interesting. And that could be the, actually, yeah, that makes sense. That could be the energy that you leave behind on others, a little bit of confusion. Oh, people don't know what category to put you in. What is that about? It's almost like people meet you, they interact with you, and it's not the way the pros and cons of knowing you, it's not that. It's almost like they're trying to figure out, okay, where does all of this come from? Where does this balance come from? Where does this beautiful energy come from Bao 3? Like how did they become this way? You leave people wondering. Oh, okay. And I'm hearing now, this is you. I'm hearing you saying, little did you know, I'm second guessing every step of the way. I'm second guessing myself every step of the way. However, what you see is this. What you see is this temperance. This is so interesting. But look at who's behind that, the Eight of Swords. Because you, again, you do, oh man, you could have a very tumultuous mind. Like your mind could be like your internal monologue, the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you kind of judge yourself sometimes. I want to say with justice, could be so harsh. And spirit really wants you to tone that down. Stop with the self-sabotage and the inner conflict, because it's almost like I want to put these on this side and I want to put this here. This is you right here, part 3. This is you. Nine of Cups, justice, temperance. And this is what you're leaving behind, okay? Or this is what you've left behind. And so you're very sure of yourself now. This is so beautiful. This energy is so freaking beautiful. The cards are beautiful. I hope you're seeing it how I'm seeing it. The whole like duality of things. Ooh, okay. Okay, it makes sense now to me. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, I don't think I'm going to pull another card for you. Um, but you know what makes sense? The duality. I just said it. It's almost like it clicked for me. The duality of who you are. People recognize that. And they recognize it because probably especially the people that have known you for a little bit, or if they've known you in the past and now they're getting to know you again, they realize that, whoa, this is like a very night and day 180 kind of thing. um Side message: because you've changed so much and you come from this place, especially because you come from a place of, again, internal struggle, self-sabotage, not thinking of yourself often enough, kind of like having this struggle of, am I good enough, am I being good enough to other people, all of that, like second guessing yourself and your actions and all of that, is what helped you get into this energy of peacefulness, kindness, caring, sweetness, fairness, all of that, right? It's what led you here. You're wondering, you wonder, you still kind of like dabble into this energy of second guessing your own growth, if that makes sense. Um, I feel like you come around though and you realize, no, 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 I'm past this. And but it's not that you denounce this side of you. Again, you like the duality of it. Like the heart and the mind makes perfect sense. I don't know how you didn't even recognize that. This could be your mind and then your heart is in another place. But you constantly have to balance these energies out. You have to keep your mind in check. Okay, you're someone who does that already because you've learned from your past how not keeping your mind in check kind of like throws you off balance. But now you do it with more ease. The first impression, though, let me circle back to that you leave behind on others is definitely one of, like I said, very diplomatic, very sweet, very kind, very caring, very healing energy that you carry within. Okay. um Very, very healing, very, also very activating. um you're also very fun to be around. You're also someone who's really good with your words, um especially in a diplomatic sense. Okay. You make sure that you express your thoughts fully. You express yourself in a way that you don't pass judgment. And again, it makes sense because of the internal struggle, self-sabotage, self-judgment kind of energy that you recognize in yourself towards yourself. You don't put that out into the world. Okay. You've learned, if anything, that's really beautiful. You recognize that that kind of energy within you is what led you to this now, to who you are now. Again, sweet, kind, loving. All of that resonates from you. It expels from you in your words and your actions and how you look at someone, how you care for others, how you, um, the the things that you do for others, the way that you listen to other people as well. It's really beautiful, really, really beautiful. So people think of you as lucky as well. But little do they know, right? It's almost like that. But you know, that impression of like, oh, she's very lucky, or um, wow, like she things come easily to her, like wish fulfillment. It's something that is in this person's life. That's someone thinking about you, right? They also intuitively recognize, they're like, maybe they've been through some shit, and that's why this is how they are now, or there's something about that. And it's probably your energy, or like when you speak with other people, you interact with others, believe it or not, we're doing like energy exchanges, right? Our ripples are like clashing with each other, and you kind of exchange energy, you exchange information with whatever is being spoken, done at the moment, but also energetically is happening in the background, spiritually, if you will. So it's almost like when people think about you, yeah, they might think initially, right? The initial thing, obviously, the interaction, all of that. But they also kind of like, you plant this seed or this like knowing within them that the reason why you are this way, the reason why this person is thinking of you in this way is probably because X, Y, and Z. Like, it's almost like you, every interaction that you have, or every like, for every impression that you leave behind on others, there's an explanation that goes along with it. Like, your energy naturally does that. That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. Okay. All right, let's look at your oracles. Ooh, Stingray. Look at that Kundalini activation. Oh, your energy is activating. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. What I was saying, that like you leave behind not just the impression, but also like an explanation or something. Like, energetically, people don't just pick up on what's happening right now. They take something with them as well. That is really interesting. All right, let's read about the stingray. Your energy is very activating as well because of all of the colors there. Excuse me. All right. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. Again, I think people recognize the fact that you've gone through a lot to develop this sense of self. You've gone through a lot to develop this confidence that you exude now. It's really beautiful. All right. It's so beautiful because they recognize it. I don't know how to explain myself here. Um, I'm at a loss for words when it comes to explaining things to you, which again could be the first impression that you leave behind as well. Because that's been happening with all the piles. I kind of like, I, I get into this mood of like, if I was meeting you, how I would feel. And then again, it's almost like you leave me at a loss for words. You're so unique. It's hard to put you in a categories, if that makes sense as well. Okay. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in a personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what the choice, no matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. So people could also be recognizing the fact that you are becoming who you're meant to be. You're stepping into your power, um, and in doing that, they recognize that you're changing. You're ever changing. You're changing very, very quickly, and you change often, which there's nothing wrong with that. When in balance, eager, wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others and quits to bring into balance. Move through the discomfort. I feel like you've done that. And that's again why people recognize your growth. Even though they did not know you when you were struggling, okay? Let's say that. Um, they still recognize that it has to come from a place of struggle. It's almost, you know what? How they say, like, the kindness people have known the least kindness, and that's why they're kind. Does that make sense? It's kind of like that kind of dynamic, that kind of duality is what people recognize in you. Wow. Divine feminine. Look at that. The three phases of the moon. Makes me think of Hecate, and that could be a deity that you work with, or it could be a deity that's reaching out to you. Also, this being like the triple goddess, it makes me think, and the fact that we have three feminine energies here. You see that? Oh, that is really interesting. I want to put these two over here. I don't really. This energy is in the past. Okay. I don't know how that's symbolic, me just getting this away. It's like, yeah, we're done with this. All right. Um, you're stepping into your power. Yeah, you're definitely becoming who you're meant to be. Maybe you are divine feminine as well. And it's not about gender, but it is about energy. And this is the energy that you exude. It will make sense actually with all of this that we have here. Empathy. Yeah. You have a lot of this as well. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. Literally, the Justice card. Literally, it. Again, that duality of things. You recognize that things are not black and white. There's gray in the world. There's many colors. It's not. Things are not just one thing or another. There could be a third, right? That's kind of the energy that you give out as well. The impression you leave behind. That open-mindedness is really beautiful. The Ace of Cups. Yeah. Very loving energy. Very, very loving. Very loving and caring. I like how we have the Nine of Cups and then the Ace because it makes me think of the Ten of Cups. And again, it makes sense. You have a very empathetic heart. You have a very big heart, period. You want people to be okay. You want to heal. You want to care for others. You want people to feel cared for. And I feel like people do feel cared for after they meet you. You leave that impression behind of being like a healer, being very understanding, being someone that they can talk to, someone that they can rely on as well. And this is, they don't have to know you at a deep level for that because you just naturally exude this. This is just, you're naturally this deep emotionally wise, right? Your energy is very healing, very giving, very, you could be very artistic as well. Very loving without a doubt. Very, very loving, very accepting of others. And again, it makes sense because of how the things that you've experienced in your life. It's almost like the things that you've experienced in your life, you don't want someone to ever feel that kind of energy coming from you. So that's why you're kind, that's why you're empathetic, that's why you're caring, that's why you're loving. Because you see how that is, it nurtures people, it makes people grow. It's easier to be that way. It's more productive to be that way than to be this, conflicts, kind of like harsh and all of that. Let's see what else do I want to say here. I think we're good. There's something about you coming full circle as well. Things have come full circle for you in your life. That's for someone, because all those circles were calling my attention all of a sudden. Very beautiful. Thank you. I just got so calm all of a sudden. I feel like that's your energy. Thank you so much, Paul 3, for letting me read for you, for letting me tap into your beautiful, loving energy. I really hope that this resonated, and I hope that it brought you clarity, or maybe just gave you like a little bit of a boost, because I feel like I'm complimenting you as well when I do these readings. So thank you so, so much for watching, for your support, for your likes and your comments. And I hope to see you in other readings in the future. You guys have a good one.